FORA.tv. The world is thinking.
You describe Wikia as building the rest of the library.
Yeah. So if you think about an encyclopedia in a traditional library, the encyclopedia is normally 30, 35 books. It's usually like this big or so. But then imagine everything else in the library, all of the other possible books and works that people might collaborate on. And so the idea is that we see that people can come together and collaborate on all kinds of things. Now, there was a time when I thought, gee, the only thing that makes this work, the only way you can really have a successful wiki is neutrality. The neutrality principle of Wikipedia is very helpful as a social mechanism for helping people to get along. But then I saw Uncyclopedia, which is a parody of Wikipedia, which is absolutely hilarious. It's certainly not neutral. I'm not sure what it is exactly, but neutral is not the first adjective that pops in my mind. But what it is it's a very successful wiki, and they have tens of thousands of articles. And so that was the first example where the light bulb sort of went on and said, it's not just the encyclopedia. We actually can just do this with lots of other things. So now we have over 3,000 communities building everything from Uncyclopedia, which I thought was so funny that I bought it, and from Uncyclopedia to health advocacy sites. We have the WoW Wiki, which is all about World of Warcraft. So if anybody here is a fan of World of Warcraft, go check out the wiki. Although if you're a real fan of World of Warcraft, you're probably not here. You're probably playing the game. So, all these different kinds of things that people are building that are not a traditional encyclopedia. Some of them are clearly advocacy. There's a SF Homeless wiki, sfhomeless.wikia.com, where the local homeless advocacy community is coming together and documenting best practices. What are all the resources available in the area? Talking about that. That's a really great one. It's just really great people are using this tool. It's clearly not neutral, right? They are advocates, and they are trying to push something forward and do something beneficial. And so it turns out that what is needed to make a wiki work is not neutrality, but a shared vision. So when I talked earlier about the shared idea of, what an encyclopedia article about the Golden Gate Bridge is supposed to be, it works equally well if you say, this article about George W. Bush is supposed to be a parody of an encyclopedia article. Okay, everybody kind of knows what that is too. And in fact, within that community, they have certain house style and sort of inside jokes that they've built up over time, so that the whole thing has a certain theme to it and so forth. So it's really amazing the kinds of things that are going to constitute the rest of the library. And so that's what people are working on.
Are you finding, because these other wikis, the rest of the library, tend to have a much more clear perspective, they're not, to your point, neutral, that the communities behave or interact in any different way? Are you learning anything about the social dynamic when there's a clear perspective?
Absolutely, yeah. You'll find things like, the style of interacting can be very different. So we have a site, Armchair GM, Armchair General Manager is the idea. So armchairgm.com, it's a sports community, and so it's all about sports. And so they interact with each other very differently from Wikipedia, right? They're a bunch of sports nuts, and they sort of tease each other, taunt each other. They have, they leave comments, and they sort of have these fun little debates. It's like a lot of little advocacy going on in there. And we added a lot of cool software for them very recently, social software, so they can friend each other and give each other gifts and things like this, and make foes, so now they can be enemies with each other. But it's all good-natured, right? In Wikipedia, I have to say, around a lot of the political articles, I don't think it would be a good idea if we had a way to mark people as foes. I think having this sort of spirit of togetherness is better. But in a sports community where it's all just a bunch of people kind of joking around and having fun, writing about sports, they write news articles about what's going on in sports, it's a totally different flavor. And yet it's something that the community likes to do, and it's all freely licensed, and everybody, they're having fun with it.
Now, the other part of Wikia is search.
Mm-hmm.
And search, you claim that will be better than Google and lesser spam. Talk about the vision there.
Not as many calories, and you'll look better while you're using it.
But will you get a date?
Yeah, no. So I actually am a little more cautious than all that, right? That I had been talking about search. So for me, it's almost a political statement more than anything else. It's a political statement about what we as citizens of the world should expect from the search engines which are driving most of the traffic on the internet. We should expect a certain amount of transparency, openness, participation. All of those things are super important, and this is really a statement that I think we can build this, and I want the community to come together and try to build this.